Yes, welcome to this video. Coach Jerry here. Getting my drink amino acid here pre-workout. It's actually not a pre-workout. It's actually a probably could be considered a post-workout. Like you can get amino acid before or after workout, but it gives me energy. It's good. So this is gonna be probably likely the last workout, not too intense of the year, as I'm recovering from a cold. Um, I had fever the other day. I had throat pain this morning. My this is kind of the beauty, right? You don't want to work out just when you're good. You work out when you have to work out. I haven't worked out with weights probably for like the best part of a week. Like I mentioned multiple times, I'm being very emotionally drained in this time. It's been a very tough time for me, like on and off, as I share multiple times. It looks like it's ending as the year is ending. I want to make it, the best 2025. Finish the year and start a new year, hopefully much better than we finish. As you might want to share what you did on your Christmas, right? Like this is actually what we're gonna do. But what we're gonna talk about here today, as the title says, I'm gonna reveal the secret how I lost 6 kilos of fat because we've been testing now with my colleague and he's been mostly fat and I had a bunch of muscle on the process in less than 2 months, 49 days, and doing that in a very emotionally drained state, plus with the we'll call it a flu. I don't know if it's COVID or whatever. Again, it would be crazy. Like I would have contracted this thing like now maybe 6 times, but I don't. I didn't even test it this time. But it seems like usual symptoms at this point. Okay, it's gonna be very easy and very simple. Because people always wanna pretend like it's hard, but like I've been posting my mom's cookies, and it's been as always a lot of attention, a lot of engagement. And this year I wanted to make it like, how did I lose 6 kilos eating those cookies pretty much every day? And there is no catch. It's been what it's been. I have been eating those cookies every day, almost. But simple as that. I'll share my experience. It's not like it has to be yours, but chances are, it could be helping you if that's what happens. But before that, let's get into the new years. Like I said, it's been tough. But when this happens to you, like I wanna like whatever this is, might be you lose your job, you lose a family member, you have a breakup, you have a divorce, you have something going on in your career. Remember, oh, life is always, it seems like life is always unfair. Life is not easy, right? Life is unfair. But I'm gonna quote one of my mentor, Sabri Subi, as I am in his program, amongst other program. Don't wish it was easier, just wish you were better. Simple as that. In any thing in life, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a business, whether it's a relationship with friends, whether it's whatever, don't wish it was easier, just wish you were better. Something happened that you cannot cope with, simply get that experience and move forward. Move forward and try to learn from it. Don't try to undo it. Don't try to improve it, or better say, try to improve it if it is. You might ask for a raise in the job for like 3 times. If they don't give you a raise, leave the job. You might have a business. You might have to test 120 times before getting a winner of an ad, for example. You might have to redo your thing like so many times. You might have to talk with your significant other, so many times before say, okay, that's it. You might have to find a better situation for your family. But whatever the case is, learn, move forward, and improve, and wish you were better. Meaning, like, next time around, just don't make the same mistakes and wish you were better. Like, improve, learn from it, because I can assure you that life is just that. Life is just that. Like, if you pass your days doing the same thing over and over and over again, I see this in health all the time. People try to pretend they want to change, but they always do the same mistakes. They just jump on a different diet. And then they don't realize that until they don't change, nothing changes. I haven't seen, I was 92 kilos. I haven't seen 92 kilos going down for the past part of 5 years. Probably I want to say two, not 5 years, no, maybe it's a little stretch, maybe 3 years. I'm 87 today, so I lost about six. I've been to the lowest 86. Why this that happens was because part of my journey, as I've been mentioning, it's been tough, and I had to let go of many habits, meaning like the habits of working all the time. I had to kind of like let it go, put it on aside for a little bit, and use that time to walk. I was doing two, three thousand steps a day, and I went from doing that to doing about 7 to 10,000, sometimes 12,000 steps. It helped me process the problems that I had. It helped me process the difficulty. It had me, do something different. And metabolically is like taking a big stone and do something different, right? So that's one thing that helped me process starting to lose the weight. On the process as well, when you're going into some sort of like low moment or depression or whatever, it's always bad, but use the metabolic changes that happens because most times it's gonna yield no hunger. And when you're not hungry, you know that the hardest part for not keeping a diet is because you're hungry all the time. For me, when I woke up, I got one of these usually. It doesn't matter when you wake up, by the way. You can wake up at, you can be a night shift worker, you can wake up late, you can wake up early. Just get like that, or like, even Red Bull Zero, something crazy, right? It's like you can actually get like Coke Zero, whatever you want. Just get a or coffee if you want. Just get that and just process. And by the way, there's nothing magical into sugar, non-sugar, whatever. Like even if you put creamer on the coffee, it's about 100 calories. You can stretch that throughout the day. Whenever you're hungry, you eat later in the evening and whatever. It's some sort of an intermittent fasting. We could go deep and say, okay, you can, when you work out, you just do carbs and then some proteins in the evening. If you're still hungry, you do some, protein and some vegetable, whatever. But the reality is that you're gonna get a big meal after. And then in the evening, I just got sometimes a glass of almond milk, which I am lactose intolerant. So like I just said, okay, let's take off the lactose free kind of stuff and like just trade it for that. I don't think that would have made any difference. And then sometime I got a protein bar in the evening. So a big meal only, right? A protein bar in the evening, and then got me the room to actually, if I need it, not that I need to or anything, but to go into those cookies that my mom brought over, and then like eating those. You can choose whatever cookies you want. If you hit 5 or 10, nothing is really gonna matter. It's 100, few hundred calories, maybe 300, but nothing's really gonna matter. It's gonna allow you to sleep well. It's gonna allow you to mentally keep that diet, if you will, which is not really a diet. The last thing I did very different, it was the workout. I used to work out 5 times a week. That got me to be very hungry. That got me to my parasympathetic system, the stress, fight or flight, to always be active. And that, as we know, stress doesn't allow you to lose weight. And so it also retains water. Just training a few times a week, full body, it was enough for me to actually keep all the muscle. In fact, to put on a extra kilo of muscle, because we tested with my colleague, and he told me you put on, like when you do a bilateral impedance, it looks on the inside from the water in the body and tells you how much fat and how much muscle did you gain. And I gained muscle even by training one time. Now, is that for everybody? No, but I put like 10, 15, 20. I never skip a training day for like 20 years. So it does. I'd be lying if I tell you that I didn't have an edge. Like that for some other people might need maybe two or three. But that's about it. You don't need to work out every day. In fact, for most people that don't have time, this is the perfect protocol. So if that's you, comment down below me. Um, Aside from that, that's exactly how I did it. It's simple as that, and it's proven to work. Now, can we replicate with everybody? Probably, like for most people, that would probably work after 40, women or men, because simply put, that's the equation. It's like you need to keep your stress low, you still need to strength train so to build your muscle or to keep it, and then you need to be in a substantial calorie deficit that you know of, meaning like you don't. It's not about eating healthy and eating more. It's not about eating little and eating shit. It's about eating the proper amount, but more than you need. If you have a something like thyroid, PCOS, whatever, you're gonna need an excessive amount of calorie deficit more than just a normal person. If instead you are pretty healthy, chances are you don't even need that. But the consistency is the king, right? That takes me to the biggest issue here, right? Because once you get to 86, it's about not gaining the weight back. Now, this I'm not a big eater during Christmas, but I counted few pizza, few burgers. I went out a few times. I had a few burgers, so few drinks. So I've been living my life. Now, how do you keep the weight off? It's simple. It's like you got from 93 to 86. You'll be a dumbass if you just go back from. That's what most people do, by the way, right? It's like they lose 5 kilo and then get back six. What a dumbass are you for real? Don't take it personally, but it's like, how do you get back so much? Because it's simple. It's like you know what you did to get to 86, right? So now, even if you had burgers, whatever, let's say you eat that for today, tomorrow you're just gonna skip breakfast or even lunch, and then in the evening you're gonna have a very light protein plus vegetable and with a small carb if you need it only to just maintain that weight. And then the day after you're gonna have a regular weight, maybe a couple of meals, maybe 3 meals, and you gotta go back to the regular routine. 3 balanced meals, 2 balanced meals, and you're gonna maintain your walk. It's simple as that. People wanna pretend there is some sort of a formula. No, it's simple as that. It's super simple, super easy. Which takes me to the problem. It's like that was like a tease, right? Like you're not a dumbass for not understanding that there are athletes that still are conditioned from the weight. You are a dumbass for not taking advantage from the opportunities. I've been advertising the whole month of December plus half of January completely for free in any of my programs, and I still have to have more than 3 people taking the offer up. That's a statement to say dumbass, like for real, which is like that really don't get enough credit for the fact that how don't you take up opportunities, whether you're a newbie, whether you've been here in the group for a while, whether you're an ex-clients. I had people doing challenges and tell me I don't want to spend 4,000 or 6,000, whatever the case is. We have stuff for 97 a month. But realistically, if you don't understand how to do this basic stuff, like whenever you're 86, how not to go back to 94, you need help, right? And the funny part that, and I'm gonna say this one last time before 2025, and I don't know what I'm gonna say in 2025. I know what I'm gonna say right now. This year changed my life for sure. Changed my life in so many ways. I'm not saying sometimes in a positive way, but I definitely understood that there is more to life than just business, money, whatever. I understood that there is a lot more to people than just when people say I can't or I don't want, don't necessarily mean they really that they're just lying. Sometimes it's true. But for the most part, we all live in a place and in a time frame that you're not in places like you have don't have water, you don't have you know you really cannot pay rent, you really live whatever, you cannot feed your family. Most people don't live that way. Most people just choose not to afford stuff. And reality is that in life, the most important thing in your health is your health. You might think that like there are all these needs, Maslow hierarchy of need, right? There is safety, then there is shelter, there is family, there is whatever. But the health yourself is the most important because if you cannot pour into yourself, you cannot help other people, including your family. And I think, I suggest, I'm assuming, I don't know because I haven't been, nobody diagnosed you really, like you're supposed to go to a psychiatrist, psychologist. I am assuming that I had in the last few months of like a depression. I would say that from the way I was feeling. I feel like it's kind of getting better, hopefully. Whenever that happens to you, you are in a place that you cannot, like, then you say, oh, You know how we always say, oh, we want to save money, we want to make this, or we want to have a million, whatever. Like, whenever that happens to you, you don't really know what you're going to do next. Everything else seems irrelevant, right? Everything else seems irrelevant. And the funny part is that whenever you don't have your health, you don't have anything. I can tell you that. And you might not get to a position to say, I just gonna save money, whatever, and I'm gonna think about my health later. Things like anxiety, depressions, or we'll talk about in a second about the infertility, but like things about those kind of stuff are driven from, you know, poor health management, poor mental health, poor physical health, poor social skills, not pouring into yourself, not prioritizing yourself first, not really caring about yourself. And it comes with the nutrition, sometimes with the workout, and whenever you get more heavy, more older, more heavy, more things on your body, that the poorest your health is and your inflammation higher is, right? It messes with your head, it messes with your body, it doesn't allow you to do stuff, it doesn't allow you to be there for your family, it doesn't allow you to be happy with yourself, confidence whenever you watch yourself, and everything's like a big mess. How do you unfold that is changing your fucking health. And if you don't, if you're not smart enough to understand that people can help you, I don't think you're in the right group. Then you should look for somebody that can help you if you don't think we or I can help you, right? But whenever you choose not to do it, you basically allowing yourself maybe not to have a second chance next time, right? That takes me to something else. Willing or not willing, I had to encounter stuff like asking for as I talked about it, right? Like I had this, breakup, from somebody that wanted a child, and so we ask a bunch of stuff. You'd be surprised about how many people nowadays, whenever you're more than 40, wants to engage into stuff like fertility treatment or whatever, and people pay up to 100,000 K to have babies, right? I mean, like, which is of course is invaluable if you want it, is priceless, right? But you know why they do that? Most people, because they're not healthy. Like, they have issue like, PCOS, like they have too much weight, they have, maybe cortisol, maybe thyroid, and you know how do you fix that? Usually actually fixing your metabolism. And you know how you would do that? By actually investing a few K in yourself for your health. And people just don't. People just don't. People pretend they want to change, but they don't want to change. So, as I can wish you a best year 2025, I can only wish you be yourself. Don't ever do something against who you feel like you are. Don't ever try not to do something for other people. Just do something for yourself, but prioritize yourself. 2025, pour into yourself. You're the most important and valuable person watching the mirror. You are for you, your family, your present family, your future family, your friends, right? But that's exactly who you need to prioritize. And I can tell you this much: health, it never get old. Like, it's always gonna be the most important thing that you have to do. Uh, that's my suggestion. That's how I want to leave you with. That's what I learned from 2024. And if you don't do that, like, chances are you're in a place that, hopefully you're in a place that you can still fix it. I definitely gonna take my own advice, because without yourself, there can be nobody else. Coach Jerry here. I wish you an amazing happy end of the year. I wish you an amazing start. I'll see you in 2025. All the best. Bye bye.